Hello student, once again I am back with my video lecture. In this particular lecture I am going to explain one very important topic that belongs to the syllabus of ISC for the subject geography. The name of the topic is India, Location and Extent. Now before I begin, let me discuss the contents of the topic very briefly. It composed of following subtopics: introduction, locational setting, comparative study of area and international boundaries, diversity of Indian landmass, importance of India's location, comparative study with China, comparative study with Australia. And at the end, based upon the above mentioned subtopics, you have to solve one exercise. Now let me introduce to you the location of India very briefly. India belongs to Asia, which is the largest continent of the world. It forms a part of South Asia and is separated by Himalayas from the rest of the continent. Locational setting, extent of the country. India extends from 8 degree 4 minute north from Kanyakumari or 6 degree 45 minute north from Indira Point to 37 degree 6 minute north at Indira Col. Longitude wise, India extends from 68 degree 7 minute east to 97 degree 25 minute east. This is the latitudinal and longitudinal extent of the country. Tropic of Cancer divide the country into two equal halves. 82 degree 30 minute east longitude is known as Standard Meridian, whose local time is considered as Indian Standard Time. The east to west extent of the country is 2933 km and the north to south extent of the country is 3214 km. India have longest coastline among the littoral state. As you can see in this map, India is surrounded by water bodies in the southern part from three sides: Arabian Sea on the west, Bay of Bengal on the east and Indian Ocean at the south. The total coastline of Indian mainland mass is 6100 km. If we take into consideration the coastline of Andaman and Nicobar Island, it will be 7517 km. Depending upon the previous slide, I have given a very brief description about extent of the country. Students need to go through this slide very carefully, because this slide will help them to solve their exercise questions. Next one, I want to discuss one very important question, because this kind of questions are part of ISC question paper. Why Arunachal Pradesh will have sunrise about 2 hours before sunrise at Saurashtra? The earth moves around its axis through 360 degrees. That means by complete one revolution, earth covers a total 360 longitude in 24 hours. Thus, a difference of 1 degree longitude will make a difference of 4 minutes in time. How to calculate it? you have to divide 360 by 24. Then you will get 4 minutes. That is a difference of time between two consecutive longitude. Since the longitudinal extent of the country is about 30 degree, that is the longitudinal extent of India is about 30 degree. Therefore, the difference of local time between Saurashtra and Arunachal Pradesh is 30 into 40 equal to 120 minutes or 2 hours. Since Arunachal Pradesh is towards the east, it will have sunrise about 2 hours before sunrise at Saurashtra. Thus, the sun is quite high in the sky at Arunachal Pradesh, while Saurashtra still waits for the first ray of the sun. Why the time of sunrise varies between Arunachal Pradesh and New Delhi despite watches show the same time? This is also a very important question suitable for your ISC examination. Now, to understand this question, to write answer at first you have to understand this question, and for understanding this question you have to go through this map of India. If you observe carefully, you will find that in this particular map I have shown two places. One is at the extreme east, another is towards northwest. One is Delhi, another one is Arunachal Pradesh. These two places have two different locations. That means they have two different local time. Since Arunachal Pradesh is towards east with respect to Delhi, so Arunachal Pradesh is ahead of Delhi in terms of its local time. But in our country, we follow the local time of 82.5 degree east longitude, that is Indian Standard Time. For that reason, despite the watches show the same time in both the places, the time of sunrise varies, because both the places are following Indian Standard Time, they are not following their own local time. Now let me read out the explanation for your convenience. Since Arunachal Pradesh is towards the east, whereas Delhi is at the west, eastern part will have sunrise before sunrise at New Delhi. Therefore, the local time of the two places will be different. If each places follow their own local time, it will create a lot of hindrance. Therefore, the government of the country has made the time of central meridian as a standard time of the country known as Indian Standard Time or IST. As the entire country follow the time of central meridian, time of sunrise varies between Arunachal Pradesh and New Delhi. Comparative study, area and international boundaries. The total area of the country is 32,87,263 square kilometer, which is about 2.4% of the total geographical area of the world. This shows that our nation is a vast country and it is 7th largest in the world in terms of ranking of the country as per the area. Now, with respect to area, countries like Russia, Canada, China, USA, Brazil and Australia are bigger than India, whereas Pakistan, France and Germany are smaller than India. Therefore, India is neither a very small nation nor a very large nation, or we can say India is neither a pygmy nor a giant among the nations of the world. Now, among the country studied by you with reference to area, Russia is the largest country. The total area of this particular country is 170.75 lakh square kilometer. In an ISC exam, this kind of question may be asked to you, where the examiner will ask which is the largest country in terms of area studied by you? Our neighboring countries. If you observe carefully, India have total 9 neighboring countries. At the northwest there is Pakistan and Afghanistan. At the north there is China, Nepal, Bhutan. At the east Bangladesh, Myanmar. And towards south there is Sri Lanka and Maldives. Both Sri Lanka and Maldives are our overseas neighbor. Sri Lanka is separated from India by a narrow water body known as Park Strait, and Maldives is separated by Indian Ocean. In this chart, I am showing the list of neighboring country. Now, beside that, I am also showing the states of India with which this neighboring country share their boundaries, and also direction in which these countries are located. Because often question comes like this in ISC: name the countries located in eastern and northern frontier of India, or name 2 countries located at northwest frontier and southern frontier of the country. To answer those kind of questions, you have to go through this list. It will help you a lot. Length of India's border with the neighboring countries. If you go by the length, our country have the largest border with Bangladesh, that is 4096 km, and smallest border with Afghanistan. But unfortunately, our border with Afghanistan, the part in which we have border with Afghanistan, that part is occupied by Pakistan, known as Pak occupied Kashmir. Diversity of Indian landmass. India is a diverse landmass from all point of view, in terms of culture, in terms of language, in terms of religious, and also in terms of landforms, as you can see in this map. At the north there is Himalayas, then south of Himalayas there is Gangetic Plain, then there is Deccan Plateau, Central Highland, mountain ranges like Western Ghat and Eastern Ghat. Along the coastal plain there is also 2 overseas island territory that is part of India. So there is lot of diversity in terms of land masses, those are part of India. In the north are the lofty Himalayas. To the south of Himalayas is the great Indo-Gangetic Plain, which is well known for its fertile soil. The western part of this plain is Thar Desert. South of this plain is the Peninsular Plateau. Why? Because it is surrounded by water body from 3 sides. This plateau comprises of uneven surface, and it is surrounded by eastern coastal plain in the east and western coastal plain in the west. Now, this diverse landmass is unified by a common climatic factor known as tropical monsoon. That means the entire country enjoy what kind of climate? Tropical monsoon climate, and the entire country get large amount of sunshine from the tropical sign and also splashing rain from the monsoon in the month of June, July and August. Now, why India is called a subcontinent? To understand this concept, at first you have to understand the concept of subcontinent. What is subcontinent? Subcontinent is a large distinguishable part of a continent that has features like mountain, plateaus, plains, coastal plains, desert, island, similar to a continent, but it is smaller in size as compared to the continent. Now, India forms a subcontinent together with Nepal, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Bhutan, Bangladesh, because the entire region have geographical, climatic and cultural similarity, and it comes under the influence of tropical monsoon climate. As India occupies a major part of the subcontinent, it is called Indian subcontinent. That means this entire region which is called as subcontinent. Over there, India have the largest area. For that, we call it Indian subcontinent after the name of the country. Importance of India's location. As you can see in this map, India is located at the center of Indian Ocean. Therefore, from the strategic viewpoint, India have a lot of importance. India share trade relationships with different countries. The countries of West Asia, Middle East, African continent, and also the countries of Southern European continents. In this map, you can see the location of ports and harbor along the coast of India. As I have said you in the earlier video, India have a longest coastline, that is 6,100 km along Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal and Indian Ocean. Now along this coastline, many major seaports and intermediate seaports are built. These seaports act as a transit point for oceanic sea routes between the countries of Europe and Africa on one hand and countries of Asia on the other hand. In this slide, I have given a short description about importance of India's location. India's location is also very important on the viewpoint of cultural spread in the past. Hindu and Buddhist culture spread to far off areas towards South and East Asia because of this location of India. Bali in Indonesia was a seat of Hindu culture. Mauritius in Indian Ocean is a miniature India because Mauritius is very much influenced by Indian culture, and to Mauritius this Indian culture came by means of sea route. Importance of Indian Ocean. Indian Ocean is also very important because of its resources. It has huge reserve of oil, natural gas, and also it gives 28% of global fish capture. For all this, Indian Ocean is also very important. Often, question may come in your ISC. What is the importance of India's location? What is the importance of Indian Ocean? That times you have to refer this part of the video lecture for writing your answer. Now, two very important questions. This kind of question may come in your ISC exam. Why India became jewel in the crown of British Empire and why India is called mistress of the Eastern Sea? India is called crown in the jewel of British Empire because India's strategic position and natural resources attracted Western Asian Muslims and European colonial power towards India. Due to its wealth and because of its role as a fulcrum upon which the imperial and commercial system in Asia was balanced. In the past, India had lot of wealth and colonial empire used to plunder this wealth for the development of their nation. Not only that, depending upon this wealth, they have developed a imperial and commercial system in Asia. For that, India act as fulcrum, means a balance upon which the imperial and commercial system in Asia existed during the European colonial period. Why India is called mistress of the Indian Sea? Why India is called mistress of the Eastern Seas? India's major contact with the outside world for the last 2 millennia have been by sea, earning India the title of mistress of the Eastern Sea. The opening of Suez Canal has brought countries of Southern Europe and North Africa very close to India because after opening this canal, the oceanic sea route between this country got the length of the oceanic sea route between this country got reduced. After opening of Suez Canal, the length of oceanic sea route between this country got reduced. Among the littoral states of Indian Ocean, India shares the longest coastline, and among all the countries which have coastline with Indian Ocean, India have the longest coastline. Comparative study with comparative study with China. In this particular subtopic, you have to compare between India and China based upon the following criteria given on the left hand side, that is latitudinal extent, longitudinal extent and area. From viewpoint of latitude, China is about 7 degrees more than India. From the aspect of longitude, China is more than double of India. On the aspect of area, China is about 3 times more than India. Similar comparative study you have to do between India and Australia. The criteria are latitude, longitude, east-west extension, north-south extension, area. The students are requested to go through this comparative study very carefully. From the aspect of east-west extension, Australia is about 1090 km more than India. From the aspect of north to south extension, the continent is about 5 km more than India. Like this, you have to go through each and every detail given over here very carefully, especially the given values. You cannot interchange the values, because if you interchange the values, it will be totally wrong. Last exercise. For the exercise, you have to solve the question given at the book known as ISC Geography Class 11 by D.R. Fuller, published by Kalyani Publisher. Basically, you have to solve out short answer type, long answer type and examination conduct questions for the given topic, which is chapter 1 in the respective book. You can also follow the video lecture very carefully along with the textbook for doing the exercise. I hope you understood. In my next video session, in video lecture, I am going to discuss chapter 2, that is geological structure of India.